Can I get a catch a boo boo ya? How we do? Who juice? Previously on KIMBA TV. Why do I have this assigned as the gap fill? Why do I have this as the gap fill and not something like the close? Right? We talked about that. What's the difference between doing this and doing this? What's the difference between if this were single prints, doing this and doing this? So that's kind of like one RTH thing that you could kind of maybe take away from today. I think that's juicy juice. Understanding and being patient for 30-minute candle closes. I think that's a big one today. Shout outs to everybody that's being able to do that. JV says, damn, I missed night stream. I'm going to rewind right now. As you can probably expect, JV, the conversation that we had last night was about settlement. Is settlement going to hold? And then obviously not just settlement, but big point of control, like Big Daddy point of control. Value. And this. So we talked about why this might be a special long right here, but also this could be the juice of the year for Monday. So it was about preparing for today, but also preparing for Monday, JV. All right, and then obviously, like, nobody should be surprised with a ES pullback because we already talked about that. So. Alrighty. Dilophosaurus says, did you get stopped out in your long and profit? Yeah, I got stopped out yesterday live on stream. I moved it into, brother, I do everything live, just remember that. So I moved stop loss into profit yesterday, and I got stopped out yesterday. That's what I mean by you shouldn't be surprised that it's pulling back. That's why we moved our stop loss into profit yesterday before the markets closed. Yeah, I moved it to where I said we should move it, and I got stopped out live on stream in profit. Okay. Test niet. Vladimir says the night plan is in progress. It was 3:08 New York time. Vladimir, not Putin. What do you think, Vladimir, about levels identified? I mean, we knew it was going to WEEX 6450. Oh, there we go. We knew it was going to WEEX 6450. All we need now is this to start turning. You see how there's a little green right there? It has to continue like a mountain of green. Yeah, but Vladimir, isn't it cool that we talked about this how long ago? 8 hours ago? No, 7 hours ago. You like this, Vladimir? Yeah, do you believe that being prepared is essential to knowing what the fuck to do in this game? Crazy, right, Vladimir? It's pixel perfect, bro. Isn't that crazy? And Vlad, what do bulls need to do and what do bears need to do? So how would you know if bulls are winning or bears are winning? You know what it is? It's just math, baby. It's just math, baby. It's just math, baby. It's just math, baby. Man, quit playing with me, chat. Do this shit in my sleep. I feel like I am still sleeping. Fuck. Pondu says this is my third reversal trade. Very nice. All set up last night. Yes, sir. What do you think? Should I take this? The order flow is a little weak, but I feel like I need to chase this, man. Man, that's a little annoying. One, two, three, four, five. Easy money, let's go. Pixel perfect. Oh, my bad. I'm trying to get this thing debugged. Should we listen to Outliers again? It's probably one of my favorite songs right now on Useless Line Records. How we doing? Neek says KIMBA long or short. If you want a short, you should probably do it around the gap. You have two options on the long. One is, are you somebody that thinks the low gets left like that? If so, you want to take the settlement long. That's your invalidation. The other thing that we talked about last night is the full gap fill and then coming back in. So really, this little thang, this little strip right here is the true sort of liquidity grab. So it's just a matter of, do you want this today? And even if this happened today, would you take it today? Or would you wait until Monday? So go to last night's stream and get caught up. Yeah, that's about it. So make sure I'm sure that you already were wounded, but if you haven't yet, it's not too late. We already talked about all of this. Yeah, so I think, it's kind of hard to say right now, but if RTH is going to hold this, then you would at least see like something. So somewhere around here is like the more statistically advantageous short. And then if you're really bullish and you think that low is in, then this settlement is your bullish retest. This is your invalidation, or you're looking somewhere around here for the long, which would be the FF. But then the question is, do you want that today, or you want to wait for that on Monday? All right. So yeah, levels are the levels. Shaman says 1 to 3 a.m. KIMBA talked about that structure and probability. Yes, sir. But yeah, like I got like 4 hours of sleep last night, so. If you missed last night's stream, then you're already behind. All right. Did you listen to everything that we talked about last night? So, like, do you understand like this fib? So you understand what the golden pocket means, what this means. Obviously, that's the gap fill. That's the single print. So do you have that single print marked? Do you have this fib? Do you have your golden pocket? Do you have your sweep level? Do you have your RTH gap fill? Do you have all the levels identified? By the way, these levels have been the same for the last 3 weeks. So it's really just a matter of, have you really been paying attention the last 3 weeks? Yeah, and then so after you figure out levels, right? So you got fibs, you got TPO levels like bad lows, you got volume node like point of control, right? So you've got volume levels, you've got TPO levels, you've got mathematical levels, right? The levels aren't that hard, right? The levels aren't that hard. The question now becomes, do you want a good or a bad low on a Friday? Do you want to take the long on Friday? Are you ready? And my biggest thing is there's going to be altcoins. Obviously, if Bitcoin dumps, would altcoins dump? For the last 3 days, I've been talking about there's going to be altcoins that dump maybe this weekend. And I will gladly take those longs over the weekend. So remember the, higher time frame idea. What's the higher time frame idea, brother? Are we thinking rate cuts in 4 weeks or no? And if we do get rate cuts, what are we thinking? Are we not trying to? Do we want to front run rate cuts, or do we want to enter longs after they do rate cuts? I think we want to front run rate cuts and then maybe think about hedge shorting when they announce rate cuts, right? We want to front run rate cuts. Why the fuck would we want to long like a dum-dum after they announce rate cuts? We're trying to front run rate cuts, right? That's been the objective for the last 8 months. So, the higher time, what's the higher time frame plan, brother? The higher time frame plan is what? Every single time we get a pullback, we're looking to get into longs between now and middle of September, right? Whether that's Bitcoin, whether that's altcoins, that's the higher time frame idea. You have 4 weeks to get into longs. Okay, cool. How low can Bitcoin go? Right? In the next 4 weeks, how low could Bitcoin go? And then how low could altcoins go? What would invalidate longs and what would confirm shorts? And so try to take all of the higher time frame stuff that we've been talking about and spread it out into all of the days that we have. You feel me? Some of you guys are in shorts, which is fine, but you were in shorts and then you were crying later about, oh my God, when can I missed this so long. Just all I would say is you have an opportunity to get better every single trade, every single day, every single trade, every single week, every single month. So your objective is to just, keep improving. Don't do the same thing every single time. So I'm going to continue to do the same exact thing I've been doing for the last 8 months, which is I'm going to just be prepared and I'm going to try to look for some very opportunistic longs. Katea! All right, brother? Does that help? And it's really kind of like the pullback is going to happen, but do you want to take it on a Friday? You know, if you do take it on a Friday, do you want it to be a good low or a bad low? Do you want to clean it again on Monday? Do you want the hidden bullish divergence? You just had the thing. All right, any questions? Let's get that juicy fruit, motherfuckers. Let's get that juicy fruit. Let's get that juicy fruit, chat. Let's get that juicy fruit. All right, any questions? Bugatti. Kimba, long or short? Math. Where would you think about shorting? Stop the music. Okay. What I would like to see today is, I don't know how low it's going to go. But, and I want you to rewind and get caught up, okay? I think this is a better place to look for a short. Today, I want to see a I don't know where the fuck it's going to go. I don't know if it's going to do this. I don't know if it's going to do this. I don't know if it's going to do this. I don't know what it's, but if I was going to be looking for a thing, and you can rewind and get caught up. I don't know if you would want to take this today. I don't know if you want to take it Monday, but look for a and then if it does a I think I'm going to try to maybe, like, that would be where I would think about shorting. But rewind the stream and listen to what I said in the very beginning of the day. Because I don't want it to sound like, oh, he changed his mind. No. Yeah, and the I don't know if you want it on Monday or today or during the weekend. Bitcoin I don't really know if you want to do it on a Friday or a weekend. Altcoin SFP, I will take it. PPI! Man, I don't even need this shit, to be honest. All right, y'all good? Math is the math and the juice is the juice. Yo, why is this calculation always a little fucked? All right, enough is enough. You guys okay? How y'all doing? Shout outs to you guys. All right, 2 hours left until power hour. Stop loss is now pretty much at break even. Okay, so it's a free roll, single print coming up. How many of you guys have been here since the beginning of this stream? Bonus points if you were here for the night stream last night. But how many of you guys have been here since the beginning of the stream? I appreciate you guys. You guys are insane. Bugatti, on a scale of 0 to 10, what'd you guys think about today? Huh? It was entertaining, at least, right? How many of y'all were here for like the mysterious not lower low stop loss hunt? Okay. Goofy. All right. I said, dude, I'm not gonna put a fucking hard stop. This is fucked, right? Did you guys like that? Okay, talk to me about this shit. Lions, how long have you been here? How many of you guys have been here for 3 months? How many of you guys have been here for 5, 6 months? How many of y'all have been here for 7, 8 months? How many of y'all have been here for 9? How many times in your time with me have you heard me talk about above VWAP, I'm bullish, below, I'm bearish? So can we give it up for VWAP again? And how many of y'all would agree with me? How many of y'all been rocking and rolling with me since the beginning? When the whole the reasoning behind this long that I wanted was the full rotate that I wanted. Can we give it up for this useless line? Can we give it up for useless lines?
Shout out KIMBA. Let's get it. KIMBA was popping.
On a week like this week, CPI, PPI week, what would be some things that you want to really focus on? Don't get got. Give it time. Think worst case scenario. Be prepared. Oh! Trump is starting. Trump is starting. Trump is starting. Let's go. RPM says surviving. How is there anything that I can do to get you to being thriving? I don't want you to be surviving. I want you to be thriving, brother. What can we do, RPM? What do we need to do? First things first, RPM. Have you won on BTCC and 2-bit? Because that's at least $200 that I can send you right off the rip on Monday. Are you in the Discord? So when we do an NFT release, you're actually going to have access to my Discord, the channel that I'm in. And you can ask me questions, bro. RPM, like, do you have any sort of longs or shorts, or you want to talk about anything? Let me know. Pumper Dave, you good? J-Bucks, Zerp. RPM says, no, it was a little tough earlier because I didn't put stop loss, but on that higher high, I re-risked. I'm chilling now, thank you. Okay. I'm rooting for you. Today is it's a Friday. You know what I mean? So have some fun with it. You know what I mean? Nothing too crazy. You know, a little baby juice. And I'm really excited for Monday, man. Monday or Tuesday, if I get the S&P box that I want, fuck yes. You know? Biddy, you know, that head short is always going to be something I think about. And then obviously the easy money, Bugatti money is, you know, still lower. So I'm in an S&P long, not Biddy, from, you know, around this zone. But maybe we'll add if it looks good on Monday and Tuesday. We'll do it live. You guys ready?
Don't break, we concentrate, juiced up minds, no fear, no hate, for forever we date, no debate, no debate.
Yeah. I like a, you know, like a tried it in here for sure. Stop the music, stop the music, stop the music. All right. Love you guys. Love you guys. I got to start the outro music. Any questions? Very, very interesting. Very, 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 very interesting. Chatas. Vicky says, Kimba subathon is only for subs? Fuck no. Everybody, Vic. Yeah, I hope I see you there. And even if you're not there, don't even trip. I will have as much of it clipped and organized and in a easily replayable format. Okay? So I think what it will be, Vicky, just like how we did it today, just like how we've been doing it all week, just like how we've been doing it every month, but we'll do it live. And for a lot of OGs and veterans, it's going to reinforce Everything that we've been talking about. Okay, this is how he moves his stop loss. Okay, this is when he might do this or might do that. And we'll do it live. I'm going to also get on Discord and stay on Discord the whole day next week. And we'll be able to talk about stuff live. Juice is the juice. So I'm excited, man. There's always going to be another trade. Vicky, have you been rocking and rolling with me for the whole month, though? All right. I don't want you to get lost in the sauce. What does that mean? I don't want you to be looking at 5-minute, 30-minute candle closes and like every day thinking that you missed the generational long or short. You know, can't be doing that. Right. But if you're somebody that is like me and you think rate cuts are going to happen in September, okay, cool. We're working with something. You know what I mean? If you think rate cuts might be a little bit of a bullish thing that we might want to front run, okay, with the idea that we don't want to long when rate cuts come in. I think that's recipe for disaster. I think people are going to end up top longing, right? So we want to front run rate cuts, right? And we probably want to start TPing if we do get that last little push with the top longs coming in, right? So we've got the higher time frame plan. And then what we'll do is we'll jump into like medium time frame on Sunday CME resumption. I'm hoping that's when we're going to do the subathon start. You know? And I've been doing the same thing every single time for the last 2.5 years, 3 years, 4 years. Ooh, so we'll continue to do it. Let me know if you have any questions. I1Shim says, how long did it take you to keep calm if you are in a trade that's in profit but still not in their take profit zone? Experience. Like I1Shim, how long did it take you to get over your fear of needles? Or maybe you haven't. How long did it take you to realize that you need to be a grown-ass man and you need to eat broccoli and vegetables when you go out to eat dinner with other people? Like, what is something that you had to overcome, and how many times did you have to experience it before you got desensitized? I'm sure that when you were asking out a girl that you liked when you were 13, 14, and it was your first time, your second time, your third time, you were hella nervous. But like now at this point, like it doesn't really bother us if she says no, right? Like whatever. Okay, cool. Right? You just get desensitized to shit, I think. Yeah. I1Shim, how many times have you heard me say things like, make sure you don't get got and you stay and wait for 30-minute candle closes? How many times have you heard me say things like, make sure you're prepared so that you don't end up bottom shorting or top longing? You know, you can't lose money if you miss a trade. But you can get fucked if you get got and you end up bottom shorting, right? Or top longing, right? I think it's really just a matter of how many times have you seen these things where you actually believe it? I won. There's always another trade. Like, do you actually believe that? Do you, for example, what about there is no right or wrong, just only good and bad risk management? What about things like, I just said it earlier today too and highlighted it twice already, but identifying levels, trusting the levels. What about pattern recognition? Like, is it above VWAP or is it below VWAP? So I live and die by the things that I preach, and it's not, it's whether it's right or wrong for money or round trip or losing money, it is what it is. So I think it's just about trusting the process. I won. It's like I won. Do you know or do you believe that if the dealer has a 10 and you have a 16, that the mathematically correct thing to do, that you will win more hands than you lose if you actually take a card? Do you believe that if you have 16 and the dealer's showing a 10, you should hit? Like ignoring like the count or whatever, any sort of other extraneous variables you might have. But do you believe the math that if you have a 16, you should take another card? And if it works out, awesome. Like you're gonna pull three, fours, and fives, right? But if you pull a face card and you bust, do you get pissed? Does that bother you? Or you're like on to the next one because you understand that this is about 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, 100,000, a million trades. It's not about the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trades that you took this week. It's not about the 10 trades that you took this month. It's not about the 50 trades that you took in the last 3 months. It's about the next 100,000. So if you can truly believe that, then you understand that at the end of the day, you need to be able to do the right thing. So if you start to believe in these things, then your actions will show it. Because you can talk that talk, but when it's a stressful situation, when it's a anxiety-filled situation, when cortisol, your stress hormone, if you don't believe me, you should nerd out on cortisol hormone. Like cortisol is crazy. It's basically triggers your flight or fight response. Adrenaline. Have you heard about the story that like this lady, she was like 100 pounds, like, I don't know, 40 kilos for the international line. She was like her child got trapped underneath the car and like she lifted the car. Obviously it wasn't like a crazy, SUV. It was like, I think it was like in the 70s or something, but like adrenaline is crazy. And so you got to understand that when it's stressful, when, cortisol and adrenaline is going through your brain, you're going to react the way that you're going to react, meaning the real you shows up. If you're really bullish, then you're not going to take the short, even though the data might say that you should short, and vice versa. So you have to be self-aware. And I think one of the best ways to prevent like this knee-jerk FOMO emotional response to something is to be prepared and you're planned and you fall back on your preparation and planning. It's kind of like you ever hear about whether it's a high-performing athlete or it's like a special forces soldier, how when the stress kicks in, like it's all muscle memory. And you really just fall back on the things that you've done hundreds and thousands of times over and over and over again because you really don't have the opportunity to think. You're going to do what you're going to do. And so having the protocol, using these opportunities, whether it's pumping or dumping, whether you want a long or short, you have an opportunity to practice that preparation, that protocol. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But that's what you want to do. So, did that make sense? Buds of Dank, you good? I need to stop being greedy when I see 100% return and not cashing out. That's okay. Stop loss and profit. So, Buds of Dank, let's talk about it because that's been a highlight of this week. Just people getting round tripped, right? Everybody says, I need to stop being greedy. For sure. So let's be logical about it. Which one do you think is easier? Putting TPs and having everything get papinked, or putting stop loss and profit and having those get papinked? Which one is actually easier? And like, what's like, if you were going to teach this to a child and you had to organize difficulty, right? Clearly putting stop loss and profit is the easier thing to do. Okay? Because if you're getting round tripped, you're guaranteed that bitch is going to come back. So the next thing that you want to do is what? Start implementing stop loss and profit and protocol. And if you've got that shit mastered, okay, then let's do the next thing, which is let's get better TPs. You know, but at least you should be able to figure out, okay, I'm getting round tripped. I need to stop being greedy. What's the next step? What's the next step? Don't just sit there and tell me that shit. Everybody says that shit. What's the next step? Stop loss and profit. You know? So where are you going? This is the sort of like the question for everybody. Where are you closing your first stop loss and profit, and for how much? Last night we were talking about, should you put it behind the 2.5? Should it be 33%? JV just had an epiphany moment. JV is shaving, what was it, JV? 33%? 10%? I don't know what it is. It doesn't matter what it is. But he's going to shave, you know, a good chunk behind the 25. And he's going to do that for the next 10 trades and see how that works out. And it's not even really about what the result is. It's really a test of, can you even do it 10 times? Imagine if he says, oh, I want to stop being greedy. I want to stop being greedy. I want to stop being greedy. Oh, I need to stop shaving. I need to start shaving in profit. You're saying all that shit. You're talking all that talk. Okay? And maybe on the first one, he can shave at 33%. Maybe on the second one, he can shave at this 33%. But on the third trade, he doesn't do it. All right? I don't need you to be the best. I just need your best. All right? I'll see you guys later tonight. If you're here, I'll see you guys tomorrow as well. I'll be on all throughout the weekend. So it's not a goodbye. It's a see ya later. Insistence, Paul, Moses, Hakuna. Have a great night, you guys. Some of you guys, I'll see you later. Some of you guys, I'll see you Monday. Some of you guys, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Some of you guys, I'll see you on Sunday. Subathon on Sunday, fingers crossed. Subathon on Sunday, fingers crossed. You know what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, can I get a cut, Choi Boo Boo? Yeah!